Let's talk about self-control, specifically how to develop more of it, because this will obviously make your life better. Many of us, we feel an emotion and then we immediately act on it. That's how many of our decisions are made, whatever emotions we're feeling in the moment. Whether or not most people realize this, that's usually how things go. Because as human beings, we're very much emotional creatures. Emotions guide our decision making. So what you want to do to develop self-control is one, be aware of that, know that this is the case, and then two, start working on creating a gap between stimulus and response. The stimulus will usually be whatever emotion you're feeling, and the response is how you act on it. Create as much of a gap in between the two of them as you can. That is how you can develop a lot more self-control, because you don't need to go from feeling an emotion to immediately acting on it. So in cases of someone making you angry, that's where you feel the anger, but instead of immediately yelling at them or wanting to fight them, what you do is allow yourself to feel that anger, take some deep breaths, and then just allow that anger to subside without acting on it. That is how you can develop more self-control. So for the most part, one of the most helpful things here is what I just referenced, where you basically focus on breathing more deeply and slowly in the moment when you feel yourself engaging in an emotion. So that way you can create a gap. And if you allow yourself to stay in that gap for a prolonged period of time, you won't end up acting on that emotion. That's self-control right there, right? So this is what you want to work on. It does take a lot of practice, but for the most part, the first thing to work on is just developing more awareness about your emotions. So checking in with yourself is super helpful, where you ask yourself, how do I feel right now? What emotions am I feeling in this moment? And how are they pushing me to act in certain ways? The more that you can actually be in tune with your emotions, the more you can practice self-control. Because usually for most people out there, they're not even aware of their emotions. So of course, how the heck are you going to have any self-control if you aren't aware of how you're feeling in the moment? This is why it's so bad when people have that disconnect to their emotions, which is very common in a lot of people nowadays, especially a lot of men, because we're conditioned to believe that our emotions are bad. So a lot of men have like zero awareness of their emotions, which is why so many men are incredibly emotional, even though they believe they're not, but they are. So work on creating awareness of your emotions, and then work on prolonging that gap between feeling an emotion and acting on it by breathing deeply and slowly in the moment. That is how you can practice more self-control.